some formatting tips to help your documents look a little bit more professional when you're using Word specifically. So the first one we're going to talk about is the basic one, which is centering something. So what you're going to do is you're going to highlight the text that you want to center. There's a few ways to do this. You can either click and drag to highlight. If it's just a word, you can double click on the word. Or if you want to do the whole line, you can click over here and do the line. And then to center, you're going to come up to paragraph and just click the center button right here. And what all of these do is this is left aligned, which is going to keep everything really straight over here. As you can see, a nice clean line. And then obviously center. And then left aligned is keeping the text clean on this side. And then this last fourth one, you don't use it very often. What this is for is if you want to keep it very uniform on both sides. See how it just made a clean line here and a clean line here? That's all that one does. But we're going to keep it left aligned, which is the standard. Alright, and then next we're going to look at hanging indents. And what I use these for personally is whenever I'm writing papers that are MLA, all of your works cited is going to be in a hanging indent. So once again, we're going to highlight our whole citation, and then we're going to right click and then come down to paragraph. And then under indentation, we're going to go to special and then drop down arrow and go to hanging. That's the easiest way, I think. The other way that you can do it is if you go to the paragraph, and then any of these little buttons right here are called dialog boxes. It's what they open them. So you can highlight, open, and then do the exact same process there. And it's going to get the same result either way. Next, we're going to go over how to add or remove space before and after paragraphs. So when it's talking about space before and after paragraphs, it's just this little line after you click enter, how big or small you want to keep it. So we're going to just click somewhere in the paragraph, doesn't really matter where. We're going to go to layout. And right now it's on 0 points before and after. So before the paragraph, we're going to be looking at right here. So if we want to make it bigger, then it can be like that big of spaces, or we can make it smaller. And then for after, it's going to be the same thing, but it's going to look at this space instead. And so we're just going to make that a little bit bigger, or we can make it smaller, whichever. Next, we're going to look at headers. And so headers are going to repeat on every page. So you just double click up here, and then you can type something like your name. And then to get out of it, you can just click off. And then that header is going to be on every single page that you put it on, every single page you type. It's going to repeat. So if you only want it on one side, on one paper on your first page, then you're going to want to type it outside of the heading box, like here. And this will just keep it from repeating on every page. It's just whichever one's going to work best for you specifically. Adding footnotes. Now we add footnotes whenever we are referencing something or citing something, and we don't want to put it in the text itself. So let's say this sentence right here is referencing something else, and we're not going to put that specifically right there. So what you're going to do is you're going to come right here, and just like I said, it's going to be with references, and then insert footnote. See, and then you can put a definition to the term, or maybe who the author is. You can put whatever you want down here, and it puts a number so you know this specific section is tied to this footnote. That's what it's talking about. All right, next is pagination. So we're going to get off of this footnote, and we're going to go to insert, and then we're going to come to page number right here. And I'm going to put mine in the bottom of the page. And then I'm just going to scroll down and look at all my options. And I'm going to do this one right here. And this is going to tell me how many pages are on my document. And I don't really like that it's bolded, so I'm going to go ahead and unbold it just like that. And then it's going to come down like here, just like the header did. And once again, it's going to repeat on every single page. Orphan, and so those are some of the most basic ones. And next we're going to go into some of the more specific ones. So orphan and widow control is what happens whenever you have just like one sentence on the next page, and you want to avoid that. So what you can do then, like let's say I don't want just this word. I don't want it on there, and it just kind of messes up. I don't need it. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna highlight this paragraph, and then you're gonna right click again, go to paragraph, dialog box, and then you're gonna come over here to line and page breaks, and we're gonna click on the widow orphan control. And so that's going to bring down the second line or a different line and just bring it down to this page so it's not by itself anymore. Paragraph symbol. Any symbols are going to use the same ways. There is keyboard shortcuts for a lot of them, but just for the sake of making it easier for everyone, I'll teach you how to just insert all symbols. So it's going to be, we started out on the home tab, so we're going to go over to insert. Right here on the right side is symbol, and we can click more symbols. And so this is going to show all of the symbols in our library. There is clearly a lot, so you can just scroll down and search for the one you want. And here's the paragraph symbol, so we can insert that there. I inserted 2, and here it is. And then also that we are going to show you, because this is a law class, I'm going to show you how to do the section symbol, which we use a lot in our citations. So back to symbol, and then more symbols, and recently used symbols. I've used this one a few times, so it's going to be right here, and it's just for easier use, and it's also going to be right here, so I don't have to scroll anymore. So that is convenient. And next, right on the same line as the paragraph symbol is our section symbol, which is what we're going to insert next. And close out of there. And there it is. That's how we do it. So that is just a few of the formatting tips and ways that you can keep your document more uniform, and just make sure that everything looks the way you want it to, because nothing is more frustrating than having a specific vision in mind and not being able to accomplish it. I hope everyone found this helpful.